All right, let's talk about something really personal. Something that's, a truly transformative journey for so many of us. We're going to dive into the path of emotional healing. It's a path that, honestly, most of us are on in some way, even if we don't always call it that. So let's try to understand it a bit better together. I mean, have you ever just felt stuck? You know that feeling, right? Like there's something holding you back, some invisible wall that keeps you from really moving forward or just feeling completely alive. It's wild how common that is. And usually, it's a huge sign that there's something deeper going on inside.
So to really get started on this journey, it helps to have a name for what we're actually up against. What are these invisible barriers? Well, we often call them emotional blockages.
And what is that exactly? Well, think of it like this. An emotional blockage is basically an internal barrier that gets in the way of your emotions flowing naturally. It's like it's built up from all these unresolved feelings that just get stuck, and when they're stuck, they stop you from processing life in a healthy way. The best way to picture it, it's like a giant dam holding back a river. That water's got to go somewhere, right? Okay, so where do these dams even come from? Well, there are a few usual suspects. Past trauma is a huge one, of course. Big events that leave these deep emotional marks. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be one giant, dramatic event. It can totally build up over time from, say, constantly pushing down your feelings, telling yourself you're fine when you're not, or from holding on to these really negative beliefs about yourself, that you're not good enough, or even just from letting arguments and conflicts with people just sit there and fester, never getting resolved.
And here's what's so important to get. These blockages aren't just some vague idea floating around in your head. No way. They have a real tangible impact on your whole being. It's all about this incredible connection between what your mind is feeling and what your body is physically experiencing.
And that mind-body connection? It's absolutely undeniable. On the mental and emotional side, you might see it pop up as anxiety, depression, or maybe just this emotional numbness where it's hard to connect with anyone. But the physical side is just as real. We're talking chronic muscle tension, in your shoulders or your neck, or constant headaches, or just feeling tired all the time for no reason. It even gets into your gut. A lot of digestive issues can be traced back to this, which makes sense when you hear people call the gut our second brain. It's that connected.
Okay, so understanding the problem, seeing how it affects us, that's a massive first step. But the real question is, what do we do about it, right? This is where we get to the really practical part of the journey. Building your very own self-healing toolkit.
And it's so important to remember this. We're not talking about a magic wand or some quick fix here. A really core idea is that healing is a journey. It's a process, not a switch you can just flip. So the goal isn't to be fixed overnight. It's about gathering some real practical tools that you can actually use along the way. And we can actually break down the strategies for healing into a pretty simple 3-step framework. It's really helpful. First up is awareness. This is just about seeing what's really going on inside you, but, and this is key, without judging it. The second step is expression. This is all about finding safe, healthy ways to let those feelings out. And finally, step 3 is release. This is where you learn to consciously let go of all that emotional weight that just isn't serving you anymore.
So for that first step, awareness, we've got some amazing tools at our disposal. Mindfulness meditation, for example, is fantastic. It teaches you how to just observe your thoughts like clouds passing by without getting all tangled up in them. Then there's journaling, which is such a powerful way to pull those subconscious feelings up to the surface. You could literally just ask yourself, hey, what feeling am I trying to avoid right now, and see what comes out. And a body scan meditation, that's incredible for pinpointing exactly where in your body you're holding that tension. Is it in your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach?
Okay, so once you're aware of the feeling, what's next? Expression. You gotta let it out. Talk therapy is a classic for a reason. It gives you a guided, totally safe space to do this. But, and this is huge, expression doesn't always have to be about words. Creative outlets can be a game changer, like literally painting your anger or dancing out your joy. It's so cathartic. And then you have movement therapies like yoga or Tai Chi, which are specifically designed to help release trauma that gets physically trapped in your body's tissues. And that brings us to the final step, number 3, release. This is about letting go. Breathwork is an amazing tool here. Using deep, conscious breathing can calm your nervous system almost instantly. Then there's the big one, forgiveness. And I'm talking about forgiving others, but maybe even more importantly, forgiving yourself.
It's not about saying what happened was okay. It's about giving yourself the gift of freedom from that burden. And finally, setting healthy boundaries. Learning to say no is absolutely crucial for protecting your emotional energy so you have the room to actually heal. Now, these tools, they aren't one-and-done things. This last part of the journey is really about weaving them into your daily life. It's about shifting your mindset from "I need to fix this problem" to "I am cultivating a lasting sense of inner peace." This right here, this really gets to the core of it all. Healing is not a destination. It's not a race with a finish line. It's a lifelong process. And that means you're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have things that trigger you, moments of really intense emotion. And knowing that, recognizing that the good days and the hard days are all part of it, that a setback is not a failure, that's so, so important. So, how do we actually support ourselves in this lifelong process? The secret is in the small things you do every day, consistently. A little gratitude practice, it can literally shift your entire energy. Getting outside and connecting with nature, it's one of the best ways to ground yourself when you feel like you're spinning out. And, taking care of your body with good food helps keep your mood stable. Self-compassion is non-negotiable. You have to treat yourself with the same kindness you'd give a friend. And, of course, build that support system. Find your people. You don't have to do this alone.
And maybe this is the most important thing to leave you with. The goal here is not perfection. It's not about becoming some flawless person who never feels pain again. That's not realistic. The real goal is integration. It's about learning to embrace all the parts of yourself, the light, the shadow, all of it, so you can become the truest, most whole version of you. So, that brings us to a final question, just for you to think about. After hearing all of this, all these tools and ideas, what's just one small, gentle step you can take for yourself on your own healing journey? Something you can do today. Thanks for exploring this with me.